Tomorrow marks a somber but important day for our community, 1 year since the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. Joining me now is an expert in school crisis response and recovery, Trish Kilpin, the director of the Office of School Safety, which is part of the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Thank you for being here. I know right now that the school community is really focused on their healing as they move forward in this, what has felt like a long journey for many of them, I can imagine. Can you talk about why a date like a 1 year mark in terms of trauma recovery can be difficult for people?
Of course. The Abundant Life Christian School leaders have been carefully planning interventions so that kids could be back at school, so staff can get back to teaching. And during the course of recovery, people have really intense feelings early on after a crisis event occurs. So they may feel really unsafe, they may have cognitive symptoms, emotionality that's really intense, and eventually that improves and gets better. When we have trauma cues activating that sense of being unsafe, it can take us backwards. And so things like dates, many of us refer to tragedies by their date. For example, September 11th, people will talk about that. And it's hard to get past that date without having, being activated and thinking about the trauma that occurred that day. Other times we get activated by events that are happening in the public, such as happened over the weekend, something that could be similar in terms of a mass violence event or something, a traumatic event that can take us backwards. And then also just reminders that are similar at that time, whether it's turning the page of your calendar to December or planning a holiday event that you were planning at the time when the tragic events occurred last year. So we want people to be able to continue to their recovery journey. There is no finish line when it comes to recovery. It's an ongoing process, and we have to recognize that we have to take great care not to be activating events and cause more upset for people who are healing.
And that's what I want to dive in on next, because I know that at the heart of most of our community members and the broader community, they want to be helpful this week. How can we do that without unintentionally or accidentally being harmful?
Yeah, I think it's our true north here has to be to do no harm. That we really want to show our care and concern to those that are most impacted by those events that occurred a year ago. First of all, we can take care not to be posting and saying things that could cause that harm, that could activate that. There is real power in community cohesion, in social connectedness, in feeling that the community cares. And the Madison community just was powerfully demonstrated that care and concern, and it impacted the Abundant Life community significantly.
Positively.
We need to do that again. We need to remember that recovery is as different as the individuals experiencing it, not to judge anyone's recovery, and we have to keep reminding ourselves and them that they matter, that if anyone's struggling, that we're here to support them. If individuals watching this broadcast are struggling, they deserve help and support. We don't expect people just to get over things quickly. And we as a community can make sure that they know that they matter.
Trish, thank you so much. Such good advice. And I do want to remind you that if you or your student is ever concerned about school safety, you can report those concerns through Trish's office, the SUSO line. It's Speak Up, Speak Out Wisconsin. There are 3 ways to connect, and they're on the screen right now. You can call 1-800-697-8761. You can text SUSO to 738-477, or you could submit a tip online at speakup.widoj.gov. Thank you for being willing to be here.
Thanks for having me.